It's always been a genre that we've really wanted to explore. I mean, as a company, we had all these different genres that we've loved to play in the past. You know, we have Hearthstone, a new game that came out recently. It's a card game that we've loved to play, so you know, that kind of genre. So FPS has been sort of on our mind for a while. So in some sense, we've kind of always been wanting to do this. So you know, Overwatch has been in development for, let's see, how long has it been now? About 2 years-ish. So about then is about when we started. I think our game is very unique in a lot of ways. I think the biggest thing is what we're really focusing on are the unique heroes and then the way they play together and the team play that comes out of that. You know, our game is a 6v6 game, very intentionally that size. So, you know, the way that the team works together for their goals and the way the heroes work together in very intricate ways is really the core of the game. And I think that team play is really going to show, especially when you get real organized teams together. You know, at an event like this, you have the most organized teams ever, so that's when it'll really show. But even we found, like, if you just jump in the game, because of a lot of the way the heroes work and the way they work together sort of naturally, the game just has a very unique feel to it and flows very well. I mean, we're always modifying our plans all the time. I mean, you start off with a goal, and you know, you want to make sure that you kind of maintain that vision, and I think we've done a great job with that. But we're taking feedback from the community constantly. For example, the hot topic that came out pretty soon after we announced was if there was going to be a field of view slider, so you can more modify the way, you know, the game looks. And we didn't initially have that because we didn't really feel like that was a super important thing at first, but the community was definitely very vocal on that, so we put that in pretty quickly. So we're very responsive to feedback, and we're watching it all the time. So in a lot of ways, they are influencing our design as we go. Yeah. Right. It kind of comes from everywhere. We have some characters that were developed sort of initially just like as a really mechanically kind of game design standpoint. So for example, a character like Pharah with her rocket launcher was very much from the ground up or from the bottom up, where we were like, okay, we really want a rocket launcher character. What goes well with that? Well, getting up above people is really great with a rocket launcher. So you know, she has a built-in jetpack and things like that. And then we started with a really rough prototype, and then we kind of took it to art and story and, like, you know, what do you think about this character? What could it be? Now that's like one character, but then you have a character like Winston who was like the exact opposite, where it was like, he was just drawn, and you know, we have an amazing lead concept artist, Arnold Sang, and he drew this character, and we're just like, okay, that's amazing. We got to put that in somehow. So, you know, we at that point we're like, okay, well, what could he do? You know, what do you expect him to do? What fits with our game? What do we need right now? So it kind of almost went top down that way. And then we have kind of the new thing that's coming out with some characters now, where, yeah, as more and more writing and the backstory comes out of our whole world. You have a character like Soldier 76 that actually came out of the story and wasn't even drawn or designed first, and it was like, oh, he's such an awesome character for the story, we got to put him in. And then at that point we get concept art, and you know, from game design side we try to figure out what he can do for the game. So it's really from everywhere. It's a great process, and I think it really helps and shows in the game in the end of the day. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of characters in the game right now, but there are more coming, and we plan on being able to make, you know, continuing expanding the roster. And at that point, you know, not only would we plan on making characters from regions that we don't have existing right now in the game, but we also want to make more characters from regions that they're already from those regions. Want to make more characters from those regions. So really, as long as the game supports it and it's healthy and players want it, we want to keep making characters and from all regions, really, see how many we can do. Yeah, I mean, like all Blizzard games, it's a really large goal of ours to make sure that it's playable on as many systems as possible, and we just want to make sure that you don't have to, you know, have the most crazy computer or whatever to play our games, and we want to just get as many people playing and, you know, offer to as many regions as possible. So I think that's always a large goal of ours. He actually took quite a while, and it's different. A lot of characters have different challenges. Sometimes we have larger artistic challenges, but for Roadhog, for example, it was doing that kind of the hook in first-person shooter was actually pretty difficult, because there's a lot of you know, hitbox issues, and you have to make sure it's very accurate and feels fair to both sides, and the way you're forcibly moving people. And there ended up being quite a lot of back and forth there. So a character like that, it will end up taking a lot longer. So it's a little bit variable, but I would say between like from like starting to work on it to finish, it takes like a month to 3 months, something like that, maybe. We've talked about it sometimes. We don't have any announcements or anything. I think it would be great. I think we definitely respect the you know, the console players, and you know, we play a lot of console games ourselves, so that comes up a lot. I think right now we're really just kind of focused on the PC game we're trying to get out. So we'll see. Yes, you can play a controller. We're definitely fully supporting controller in every way on the PC.